We thank you all for being here. This is something that you need to see, because what you need to understand is that just because you're Christian doesn't mean you can't make no profits, right? Just because you're Christian doesn't mean you can't be global, right? And so I'm going to be your moderator for the day. I am Lakeisha Dixon, the Breakthrough Strategist. I'm the CEO, president, and founder of Breakthrough Coaching Leadership Academy, okay? And so I'm going to give you all about 2 minutes just to go ahead and introduce yourself, what you do, and the problems you solve. Okay? Introduce yourself, what you do, and the problems you solve.
Okay. My name is Eva Jane Bunkley, as you've heard.
Introduce your mic.
Oh, yes, mic. I'm Eva Jane. I have been a professional makeup artist in the Atlanta area for about 25 years now. And I've primarily worked in television. I've done just about everything. Celebrity, been people's personal makeup artist. I was Judge Hatchett's makeup artist for about 10 years. Creflo and Tapiola, I was their makeup artist for about 11 years. I was at Vivian Atlanta for 7 years. Channel 11, our ABC affiliate, 5 years. So television has been where I've kind of had my roots. I have 2 Emmy Awards that I earned back in 2001 and 2. So moving into product creation was kind of natural for me, because I was on set one day at one of the stations, and I was preparing one of my anchors to go on TV, and I couldn't find anything. I had my makeup spread out. I was disorganized because I tend to kind of be real creative. I throw things all over the place. And I'm like, where did I put my makeup sponge? And they're looking at me like, I gotta get on set, and you're wasting time. I said, oh my goodness. So I started to get nervous. I said, you know, if this thing was just stuck to my finger, that'd be one less thing I'm looking for. And I was like, wow, let me put a pin in that, a makeup sponge for the finger. So it took a few years for me to get going and build the confidence that I could launch a product, because it seemed like a very high concept at the time. Like, where do I begin? But I was actually on a panel one day with a makeup artist. It was a makeup artist meeting. And there was a lady sitting next to me who had a brush company. She worked for a brush company. And I said, you know, she's a perfect person to talk to about this whole beauty tools industry. And she told me, even though I've been all over the world to beauty shows and I've never seen anything like that, she said, you need to do this like yesterday. You need to be sitting on a gold line. And so our meeting was in February, and that was 2012. And by December of that year, I had my first prototype. So this is what the makeup palette looks like. It's a very simple concept. It just fits snug on your finger, and you can use it to do hands-free makeup application. So it helps to kind of speed up your makeup routine, because you can still multitask. I can pick something up. If this was a makeup brush, this is my that's the problem that I solved. Just flawless makeup application, very natural. I'm not looking for it. I'm not dropping it. It's right here. Thank you.
That's pretty good. Oh.
And, good afternoon, everybody. My name is Calvin Willis, and I'm the founder of Gold Belt. Gold Belt is the world's best active wear belt that you wear while you work out or enjoy any leisure activities. And the Gold Belt is right over here to your left. It has 3 compartments. The middle compartment is for your phone. How many of you have ever been to the gym or working out and you have all your stuff in your gym shorts? Women, you carry your phone in your hands, you put your phone in your waistband or your leggings. Some of you in your sports bra. You know what I mean? So we solve this problem for you. Our brand is the person that wants the active lifestyle, the healthy lifestyle. So it's important. While you're in the gym, that's an investment of your time. So our product helps you to become free of distractions, hands-free, so you can focus on your workout. So that was my problem. When I would go to the gym, everything would fall out. And one day I just asked God, it's funny, I just asked God for an idea. And I was watching Shark Tank, it was around 2012, and how many people get tired of watching everybody else's idea? You ready for God to do something? So I asked God a simple prayer, God, give me something that I can do. Give me an idea. Closed my eyes, and I saw a vision of a belt. that had the functionality of Go Belt, where there was pockets, and I immediately knew that it was for working out, it was for people who wanted to store their things, and it was for me. That was the answer to my problem. And so it had 3 compartments. The zip pocket is for your credit, debit cards, cash, business cards, and the slip pocket is for your keys. So that's the problem we solved.
All right.
Good morning, my name is Joi Pearson, and I am the inventor of Joystick. So if you look to my left, you'll see it is holding 2 of my phones. And so we're actually live on Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube all at the same time. So the cool thing about it was I didn't ask God for it, but I listened. When I tell people that when you're in your 20s, you know, you're like, God, I got it. You know, then you get 30 and you're like, hold up, what'd you say? And it's like everything he says you listen to and you're like, look, I done made mistakes, you know. So I have a morning radio show Monday through Friday, Michael and Joi in the morning. And when we first started, Periscope had just come out. And I was like, oh, all I gotta do is talk and people will listen? Okay, this is cute. The show is all for business owners. We've had Calvin come on to talk about his belt, authors, musicians, and it's just a platform for people to be able to promote your business. So I said, how great is this? You can listen to it on the TuneIn app, but how awesome would it be to be able to watch it on Periscope? So needless to say, the first generation joystick kind of started. About 6 months later, a lady said, where can I buy it? And I was like, I'm sorry, what did you say? You'd pay for that? Okay. Later on that day, I bought the domain name, and a year later, here we are. So, you know, that's Joystick, and I'm Joi.
All right. So let's knock it up for them, right? So this is amazing because they just showed you that they're getting paid based on the problems they solve, right? How many of you have created something that you know that you can sell? Let me see the show of hands. Everyday problems they created, and now they are global. All right? Christian global entrepreneurs, that's what we need more of. But when you're a Christian global entrepreneur, you're not a beggar, right? Amen? And so we don't have a lot of time with you guys. I want to get right into the meat. How did you start this? So we heard, you know, what you created. We want to know, how did you take your brand to the next level? So the question is, how did you take your brand to the next level?
Starting, I think I said, was part of my problem. It took me about, from when I first got that idea sitting on set, to actually talking to people more so about it and trying to find out how to manufacture it. It was between 7 and 10 years. I sat on this for so long because I needed to build my confidence, really. I just didn't know where to start. So what I tell people now, because really I didn't know if it was a good idea. I really didn't. I thought it was a good idea for me, but I didn't know if it was something other people would want. And I spoke to another artist that I kind of respected in the industry, who'd been there longer than me, and her response was a little lukewarm. And I kind of took that, and it kind of deflated me a little bit. So I say that to say, I'm not necessarily upset with that, because the timing, actually, by the time I did do it, was much better for me, personally. Financially, I was able to invest a lot more in it than 10 years prior. And she was part of my group that tested the product, and she ended up loving it after that. So I do believe in timing, and I do believe in surrounding yourself with wise counsel, but you definitely, when you have your personal relationship with God and He's dropped something in you, then it's on you to kind of work with Him to, what time, when do I do this, Lord? But I do believe He blinded the minds of other people in order for me to get my stuff together and for the timing, because I've seen 2 posts. There was a post somebody did, and they tagged a friend on it and said, look, girl, your idea that you wanted to do, somebody did it. And I met a makeup artist who was actually a Broadway makeup artist who said, I thought of this, and I wanted to do it, and I did it. She said, good for you. So don't have fear. That's one thing, because fear can be paralyzing, But just because you're like, oh my God, I have no money, I can't do this, what if somebody takes it? What if, just rest in God's timing. Then, make phone calls. You know, do your due diligence, you know, do your non-disclosures. When I met with anybody, there's something I'm not going to talk about. I started to call manufacturers, because first you got to figure out. Fortunately, my idea was something that I could kind of draw up and send straight to a manufacturer. It wasn't something that I had to have an engineer design. Like my next thing, it's something that was a little deeper. So I started with something that was kind of easy manufacturing-wise. I had a design, I drew it freehand, I got some foam from a manufacturer. I said, can you send me some samples, just some big blocks? And I carved. I bought carving tools, a Dremel, and I carved. So it was something I could step out easily. And then I just made phone calls. It's as simple as making phone calls. Who would make this? I wanted it US made because I wanted more control. And when you do manufacture something, just know that, you know, unfortunately, there are going to be people who steal and who, you know, manufacture. So I'm dealing with China right now. China manufacturers and big companies. I'm kind of in a fight right now, and we can talk about that in a minute. But don't let that fear of somebody stealing or somebody you not being able to do, because you would be surprised how favor can come in, and I paid little by little. I paid little by little, $400 here, $200 there to the manufacturer, and they worked with me. So there are people out there who will work with a small business, okay?
Amen.
Thank you.
So my thing is, good things come to those who go.
Oh, I love it.
Come on,
Tell the
Cal.
person next to you, say, good things come to those who go.
Good things come to those who go.
Yeah, that's going to be on the t-shirt too.
Trademark.
TM, right, register mark, yeah, TM. But my story is how I got started, how I got to the next level. So the next level from the idea of it being in my mind is to sketch it, write it down. That's what I did. And from there, I started working on it. Didn't know what I was really doing, but just knew that I wanted to get to the point of having the first sample in hand. So the next thing I did was get a person to illustrate it. So somebody like an Ivan or Justin or Mindbox, you know, creative people who are in that space. I send the sketch that I did in my journal, same place where I journal everything where I'm talking to God, you know, I send that to them, and they give me a professional illustration. And so from that phase, after the professional illustration, I sent it to, I went on Thumbtack. There's a website called Thumbtack or Fiverr, some people know, where you get services for people who are specialized. And I started looking for who can make this. Alterations type people, tailoring, people who have that skill of tailoring and know fabric and fashion design. And I had some people respond and got in touch with a lady who said, yeah, we'll love to do it. So I got quotes from different people and finally got my first sample in hand. And from that point, I'm like, okay, cool, I got the sample now. I need to figure out who I'm gonna sell this product to. How am I gonna do this? What am I gonna do? So the next thing I did was I don't idea. Like my sister was saying, it's so important. I want to be protected, even though somebody may be in the space already, or somebody may have a similar idea, but I want to add value to what I'm doing. So I started seeking out a patent, and so we put the application in. It took about a year and a half, but we do have our patent for GoBelt. It's an original design, has proprietary value, and from that point, I started reaching out to who can manufacture. You know, China, they charge you, they want MOQ, minimum order quantity, and for a startup entrepreneur, you know, that's a lot of money. If you have to order 1,000 belts, not knowing what colors, what's gonna sell. So I said, okay, it's not time for that. That's not the step I'm at. That's not the level I'm on right now. I'm at the testing level where I'm seeing what colors work best. You know, who's gonna buy it? What demographic? So I'm still working with a lady who has a tailoring skills, has a shop, but she knows how to make the belts. And so she's making the belts one by one, handcrafted, every single one. My basement is the headquarters. We got tables set up, sewing machines, and she's making them one by one as the orders come in. You know, when we get to the next level of meeting 1,000 or 2,000, then we will pursue a manufacturing company because we'll have the demand to do that. So, you know, it's different ways to go about it, but that's where we are right now. And so I'll leave it at that. We'll get into a little bit more in a minute.
So I love my story because it's totally different. So we were on the radio, and I'm a full-time photographer. So I've been doing photography for 10 years. I specialize in event photography. So I was very familiar with the concept of a light stand. So I had already been using it on the radio for, again, like I said, 6 months. I didn't have to worry about trying to draw anything out. I just played around with some stuff to kind of get it to where I wanted it to be. It started out with a selfie stick on top. I'm a female. I know that at the end of the day, this isn't my best view. I need you a little bit higher. You know, I need this angle, you know what I mean, working in my favor. So I love the fact that it can go low. It can go as low as 3 feet, and it can go as high as 7 feet. So I was just like, all right, this works. On the radio show, me and Michael stand up the entire time. The guests typically sit down. The energy is just so much better when you're standing. So I knew that I needed that height. So again, it started with that one lady asking where could I buy it. I, you know, was using some US manufacturers, but at the end of the day, you know, they just charge so much. I really was blessed and fortunate because my photography company has funded my entire venture with Joystick. Wow. God gave me the ability to have a contract with a company called Fresh Empire, so I hire photographers for 15 markets. And honestly, you know, the timing couldn't have been any better because, you know, again, I didn't have to go out and ask anybody. I didn't have to, you know, do any odd jobs or anything. I just was able, and I just said, you know what, God, whatever you say, I'm putting everything into savings account, depleted. Because I just, you know, I mean, first off, how cool is it that the product has my name in it? I mean, I was that, like, and I think it's super dope. But I feel like, obviously, at 38 years ago, my God put it in my parents' mind that this was something that I was going to come up with, and I just said, look, this is all I got. And so, literally, my son's room is a manufacturing warehouse. I do order from China. I have 4 different manufacturers because I'm half Filipino. I know how that works. And I'm not playing no games with them. I do have my provisional patent, and I do have my trademark with Joystick. I'm just saying. And so I just wanted to protect myself as well, too, because I knew at the end of the day that, you know, once an idea is out there, it's just a matter of time. There's no real original idea. But I did tell myself that I was going to get my provisional patent. I have my utility and my design patent pending. And, you know, I mean, you just want to be covered, you know, not only by the blood of God, but you just want to make sure that your basis is covered. I'm just saying, you know what I mean? Because I feel like God doesn't just give you that idea. He's giving it to somebody else. It's just whether or not you're going to be the faithful one to actually go out and make it happen. So the website went live a year ago. I have been fortunate enough to have sold almost 600 of them, and really not even a lot of marketing. I went to school for marketing, and I really just kind of, the funny thing is that I really didn't realize that I had done so well, you know, but then I'll see people like Calvin tagging me like Joystick on Instagram or Facebook, and it's really just word of mouth. If you have something that's gonna fill a need, who isn't gonna buy it? Who isn't gonna support you, you know? And let's just be honest, if they don't, that's not who you needed anyway. So that's my story.
All right.
And I'm sticking to it.
So y'all give them a clap. So there are so many different elements we have. Is the creation, the idea first, then the creation. They had to start sketching out and build it. Then the work. My acronym for work is the will to win, overcome obstacles, renew your mind, and kill negative thinking, okay? And so as you can see, they were not in the prayer closet for 10 hours thinking about, okay, God, I receive. At one point, they went from the prayer closet out to do the work, amen? And so when God gives you an idea, you have to do the what? Work. And what is work? The will to win, overcome obstacles, renew your thinking, and kill negative speaking. Because people will always tell you what you cannot do, right? They will always tell you how your idea is not going to work. Like what her friend almost told her. And so that's why when you have a vision that God has given you, you have to make sure it takes root in somebody else. Because if it does not take root in your heart, hallelujah, you will allow anybody to come and pluck it out of you, right? And then what God has given you will fall to the ground. And so, hey, let's get back into this thing, right? Because I know these people want to know some more good stuff, right?
Can I say
yes, go ahead, Joey.
So I do want to say this. If you do end up mentioning your idea to someone, or if you are using it, I had a guy that came on the radio and he looked at it, he was like, all it is a stand with some clamps. And I was like, actually, all it is something that I thought of and you didn't. So, like, it sounded like a little bit of hate, but I'm the type of person that it didn't bother me. But let's just be honest, that could have discouraged somebody. Right. So like you said, that lady was a little, not so nice, and it could have discouraged you. So if you hear somebody have an idea or a story or something, just, if it's not something nice, parents taught us, if it's nothing nice, keep it to yourself. And I really do believe that should be the way that we live, because again, you could diminish somebody's dream really, really easily, and now you just took their blessing and a bunch of other people's blessings too.
Right. So if you don't understand something someone is telling you, just say, God bless. Even if it don't make sense, God bless.
God bless you.
Okay. That sounds crazy, girl. God bless you. Okay.
Yeah. There real quick. With my product, just similar to Joy, somebody comes up and says, "Oh, it's just a 2018 version of the fanny pack." I'm like, well, no, it ain't that. I'm like, no. So what I'm saying is, when you're creating something, nobody wants to hear, like if there was a singer or something, I wouldn't come to a singer and be like, oh, so you just a 2018 version of Beyonce, trying to do something. No, you yourself. So never let anybody discourage you for appropriating what you're creating and what you're inventing. It may be similar to something else, but stand your ground, you know what I'm saying? Don't get offended, and try to find a way to sell it to them.
All right. Joy, you go on and work this crowd, girl, okay?
I'm just saying.
And so here's another question for you. What are 3 things will you tell the audience about their product, their service, or their programs? What are 3 things that you would tell them that they need to do to overcome obstacles?
I would say just stay consistent, don't get discouraged, because I think a lot of times, even throughout this process, you guys, my patent came in the mail. You anticipating it, you waiting on it. You call an attorney like every 3 months, man, when is it coming, man? And finally it comes, and I found myself in the house discouraged. I was like, I'm supposed to be happy. Yeah. But I found myself discouraged because the timing of it, I feel like things were not taking off in the time that I thought they should, or in the acceleration that I thought they should. But I would just encourage everybody here, stay consistent no matter on days you feel like this thing is not doing what I wanted, or I anticipated what my business plan said it's supposed to do, or my milestone I'm supposed to be hitting. But as long as you stay consistent, things will happen. But there is a law in place that God put in place where perseverance will win. So just stick with your product, stick with your idea, and doors, he said if you knock, the door will be open. So just keep knocking, just keep working, and just keep staying consistent.
One thing that you said about when you went to the manufacturer, you're like, okay, the minimum order quantity. The beauty in like stepping out and starting to ask questions on that journey, you'll find these pivot points, and you're in that product testing phase. So say he'd ordered those 10,000 units that they say you have to order, and then he gets it out there, and you're like, oh, well, this isn't quite. It's so wonderful to start small. It's wonderful. There's purpose in starting small, because when you start small, you don't have as much to lose, for one. If you just $100,000 and cashing out the entire retirement account, and I'm going to go ahead, they said I got to order this many. No, just start small, because what I found is as I've gone along with this product, you discover so much as you go along. My product, let's see, next month, it would have officially been on the market for 5 years. So right now it's in Dillard stores, through Ulta.com. I have distribution in Russia, throughout the Middle East, starting up in South Africa. Wow. And one thing that I could not, this is premium. It is made in US. The cost is high. It just is. But I knew everybody's not necessarily gonna buy a $15 sponge. But there are some people, I'm gonna get the dupe no matter what. I'll get the $5 version. So I said, well, when I eventually do want to manufacture in China that can do this, but I'll rebrand it. So I have 2 patents and I have two trademarks. So my other trademark is called Pretty Stick, and it is a China-made version of my product that some of my retailers carry both. So somebody will see the makeup bullet and be like, ooh, it's $15. Ooh, this is $6. Let me get this, and it's still going in my bank account. Yeah. So I first saw this China company that had my product on their website saying, I make this, and it was a picture I took with my own cell phone. I was like, okay, how am I going to look at this? So I just turned lemonade out of those lemons. And I reached out to them and I, sent them my patent and everything, although it's a US patent. I was just kind of like, look, y'all can't make this and you can't sell it to anybody else. I'm not going to go into all that. And she's like, oh, we apologize. I said, you can make it for me though, because I was looking for a manufacturer. So send me some samples. So that's how that relationship started. Okay. Wow. Now, last year, I had to start sending out the cease and desist though, because those other factories in China that I don't have a relationship with, they just hot sale, we make this. So I have to attack Alibaba, can they take this down? They need to take this down. But then it popped up in Forever 21 and Sephora and Marshalls and TJ Maxx. So I'm sending out cease and desist. And 2 weeks ago, a girlfriend sent me a picture. She said, can they do this? It popped up in Walgreens. Walgreens has branded, got their own version of my product in their stores. So that's my latest fight. So they know, even though you have your patents, even though you have your trademarks, your pockets aren't as deep as, Sephora is owned by Louis Vuitton. I don't have Louis Vuitton money yet. But I have my voice. So now I've started to be more vocal about, look, if you see these products, if they're not authorized, I'm like, hey, Walgreens, license it for me. Break me off just a little bit for what you're selling. I'm not going to stop you, but at least don't just dismiss me, don't ignore me. You can lift up a minority entrepreneur. Yeah. So that is, my latest fight as of a couple weeks ago. So I'm just letting y'all know. I can use Help of a Tribe, the makeup bullet, follow it on all social media, because it's a numbers game. They see people numbers and they see dollar numbers. And when you have both of those things behind you, or one or the other, that's your power. So as an independent entrepreneur, my power is in my tribe. So don't diminish, something because you're starting small, because you're going to need that learning curve. You're going to need to pivot a couple of times. You're going to need to make adjustments. Don't look at it as a negative, because I look at it at the end. I say, okay, this is a good fight. I win. But you're going to go through a lot of obstacles. But as long as you say, I know I win in the end, and what is this teaching me? What do I learn? Because you're going to need that tenacity for your next product and your next product.
I think 3 things real quick. I would say, make sure that your paperwork is right. You want to have your business license, you want to have your EIN number, your website, your email, your social media. A lot of times you jump all the way out there and now your business name, you can get a website for. When I wanted Joi $8,000, I was like, oh, no. I took that C right on out and we kept it moving. But, joistik.com. But you want to make sure that, if you could get as many things consistent as possible. So, I've had a photography business for 10 years. I have no business credit. Well, why not? Because I don't work with vendors. what vendors do I need to work with? I just take photos of people. As soon as Joystick got on the market, I have 5 or 6 vendors, and they sent me a business credit card that is totally all business, has nothing to do with my personal social security number at all. And I'm sitting here thinking like, well, this is whack. Like, how does this work, you know? But most people aren't gonna tell you that you can have something totally separate. I mean, there is business credit and then there's personal credit. I literally just learned this 3 months ago. And now I'm telling y'all because it is important for you to be able to have business credit, because you could max out a business credit card because they know if you sell 1,000, you know, Go Belts or whatever, you'll be able to pay it all off, you know, as opposed to, again, personal credit. So if you want that e-guide, you can email me and I'll send it to you. But I would say have your business, your business stuff situated, and just believe in yourself. You know, I mean, I think that a lot of times, I walk out the house every day and I take 2 or 3 joysticks, and I was like, we gonna sell these before mama come home, because I don't like to cook and he likes to eat, and I wanna be able to know that dinner's paid for, you know? And 9 times out of 10, it's a blessing. I'll be shipping one and then I get an email saying that I sold another, you know? So it's in my mind that I know that I'm gonna do a little something every day. Whether or not it's posting on your social media, whether or not it is Facebook, whether or not it's doing a little video to kind of promote yourself. I mean, there's so many free avenues to be able to promote your business, and you know, I think that that is one of the things that is vital for us to take advantage of. I actually also started an affiliate program for Joystick, so every time Calvin mentions Joystick, he can give them his affiliate website link, and he gets 10% back. So of course he's gonna be like, yeah, joystick.com, because he's getting something back. And I feel like we need to be able to help those who help us. You know, that's just really, should be the American way. You know what I mean? If somebody is doing something for you and helping you fill a void or a need, you should be able to find a way to give back. I also give 10% back to every sale to a nonprofit here in Atlanta called Project You First, and they help homeless people here in Atlanta. Again, I used to be homeless, so I was like, look, we gotta work it out, because not everybody that's homeless wants to be homeless, and not everybody that you see that's on social media flossing got it. So just know that, you know, it's a process, but if you're in here and you're getting the information, then God has already planted the seed. All you have to do is, just like Johnny Appleseed, when we were a little kid, just keep sowing them seeds, and eventually they're gonna grow.
Right, so let's clap it up for them again. Amen. And so we got about 10 more minutes, and so what I want to do is get into some questions. Ask your questions while you're here in the room with these wonderful, amazing people. So do we have any questions? Yes.
Yeah, so for you to make a bullet, why did you try to do the licensing deal early on?
Well, I wanted to prove the concept. So I started with makeup artists and beauty lover trade shows, B2Cs, okay? So B2Cs are those business to straight to your consumer, your customer. So I needed some direct sales in order to say, okay, Walgreens or whoever, this is an amazing product. They're like, how we know? So it took, what, 5 years for them to like go ahead and try to acquire it themselves, just, you know, outside the normal channels. So really testing building the brand, building my brand, getting it out there. And 2 years ago, I started doing the B2Bs. So those were the shows that are, I mean, I went to Bologna, Italy last year to a huge show. It's a beauty show just for buyers all over the world. So it was one of those, they want to know, what have you sold? Who likes this? So I wanted that smaller start. And then now that the brand is selling, now those stores are like Ross bought my knockoff. So they sell in their Ross stores. So it was just that. It was just that.
Any other questions? Yes.
Yeah, I just want to ask, how do you feel about, if you have an idea, would you feel like it's just so, you know, like just crazy big? But at the same time, it's like, I would prefer to just, I don't want to sell the idea, but sometimes it's like that pressure is just like, you know what, maybe
maybe a partnership would be a good idea for you. You know, a partnership with someone who has that part of it that maybe you feel you're lacking. Partnerships aren't all bad. You just have to find the right partner. But I could sidebar with you, and you know, I won't tell anybody your idea. I'll sign a non-disclosure if you like.
Do we have any more questions? Yes.
How much time did you put in each one of you can actually on a daily basis when you first started out? Sometimes I think some people may go to like 23 hours a day that I put into it, but the balanced life itself and then also be focused on your business, how much time did you put in on a 24-hour period?
So my time is very limited. So when I said I just do a little bit every day, I literally do a little bit every day. And I think that the affiliate program really helped me because, again, if someone else is mentioning your product and posting photos, and all my emails I send, you know, to tag us on social media, I use the product every morning on the radio show, so I'm able to promote it, you know, on that. I sell quite a few from being radio, but, you know, I would say just take it 2 hours to social media, to setting up Hootsuite or a buffer so that you can at least be posting 2 posts a day if possible. I also wrote an e-guide that will help you manipulate social media, info@joystick.com. I'll send it to you guys, and it just kind of lets you know whether or not you're using your social media platform the right way. Get a tribe. I mean, I started with the hashtag Joystick and then Joystick Nation, and so I tell people in all the emails whenever they purchase, you know, hashtag Joystick Nation, and you know, I mean, I just let it do what it do.
You're right, we let the pastor go, right? So, lady for Pastor Patrice, she has a question.
Yeah, so I don't have a product, but I have intellectual property. So I'm wondering if I'm the brand or if the intellectual property is the brand.
Well, I want to refer that to an attorney friend of mine, and I'm thinking you asked a great question. I think the best way to be protected is have your registered marks and, you know, to have all of that stuff, trademark, registered mark, really. And her Instagram is Creative Genius Law. Creative Genius Law. She helps creative entrepreneurs be protected, and she helps you guys get your registered mark so that, you know, your brand is protected. Another thing I want to share, who's looking for a patent? I need a patent attorney report. Okay. I want to give you this information. His name is Vincent. This is the gentleman that I use, Vincent, VINCENT, His telephone number is 716-853-1111. But did anyone of y'all want to answer Patrice's question in detail?
You are the brand. You know, you are the brand. I would definitely say get a lawyer, but you know, at the end of the day, everyone sitting in a chair, you guys are the brand. Okay, and you should have all raised your hands because all of y'all have at least one idea in you that's gonna need to be patented, right? Hello, right? Okay, all right. Crowd participation, y'all.
So I know you've been on Shark Tank, right? And that experience, can you tell us some key things on like what you learned going through that process and something that, you know, you think
Absolutely, and great question. I did the audition. So when they do the open call where anybody can come and hundreds of people you compete, but I did receive that. I received that. You know what I mean? I received all of it. But basically, man, I'm just determined. I'm the type of person, man. I've been trained to hustle from a young age. So it's about waking up early, being the first one there, just showing up. You know what I mean? And you know, as African Americans, you know, I realized during that experience, we really wasn't there. You know what I mean? So I feel like we have to show up to the table. Like if we want to get resources, if we want to get to, you know, get the investment, we got to show up at the table. So just showing up, I was there at 3:30 in the morning. I got up at 3:30, just to be there at 4 to wait to 9 o'clock a.m. to be told, okay, wait some more. And then, you know what I mean, get called back. But I was prepared. I had my pitch ready. I practiced my pitch. I was in the mirror practicing my pitch. So just that preparation You know what I mean? You never know when your moment is gonna come. Your moment it may not be, it could be anywhere. You could be a billionaire investor just in your everyday life. Is your 30-second pitch ready? Yeah. Do you know your 30-second pitch by heart? If I would say right now, what's your product? Can you 30 seconds tell me that product to get me to the point where I'm like, man, I need that in my life. Get that pitch ready. That's all I would be able to say about that. Get your pitch ready, and you'll be able to work wonders.
I wanted to, yeah, I did that audition too some years back, and my husband, he sat in a chair from 10 p.m. until I arrived in the morning. Come on. So that having a strong support system is just, there's nothing like it. But yeah, doing the pitches, doing contests, I've, got money, free grant money through doing pitches. So that's something that's available. Joi spoke on getting your paperwork and everything. There's so many free resources through the Small Business Administration, through the Small Business Development Center, the ACE Women's Business Center, the U.S. Trade Organization. All of those provide free services to entrepreneurs. You can go and sign up for a consult meeting, and they'll sit down with you and go through it with you, free.
And Decatur also have a 12-week free entrepreneur course with Operation Hope. So for those of you who are in Atlanta, you can just go down and log on to Operation Hope with John Hope Bryan. He has a free 12-week entrepreneurship program that provides you a free attorney for the first year. And it's absolutely free. Okay, I took the course 2 years ago, and it was absolutely amazing. So every week you will meet in Decatur, and they sit with you. They bring in other entrepreneurs to help you. So for those of you in Georgia, Operation Hope John Bryan, he has a phenomenal program for small businesses. Ma'am, I see your hand up. You have a question?
And also for people that need transition from where we find them onto a new normal or their new normal. So I'm not really, I have a lot of resources. I'm a veteran, so I know I have just about everybody giving me everything, but in that market it's just like, where do I start first? Because I have all of this opportunity, but I'm not real sure what's the first step to get to the next step, and then like what stone do I step on first, and then which one do I go? I just got some information from one of the vendors, so I'm gonna start from there first. But then once I do that, with the patent, well, not really with the patent because it wouldn't be a patent, but I guess with what else is?
You seem to be a social entrepreneur, so you would want to. What's your business name? What's your mission? Yeah.
Well, it would be consulting because resume writing is what I do now that I don't charge anybody for because I don't need to. Yeah.
I think any of those free resources so that you could just lay your foundation, get it all together, then find out about those grants. Like for instance, there's like you said, you're a veteran, you're a woman, you're a minority, there's certifications you could benefit from, and then I would say research grants. Because there's so many grants available for you to, move forward with what you're doing, with your vision. Definitely.
Yeah, I think she said it. I mean, you get your business. I mean, I'm real social on social media. So again, I would just say try to get all your domain name, all your Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, Periscope, MySpace, Google. Okay, so I always tell people, Google free social media, and whatever it is, sign up for it. I mean, no one uses MySpace anymore, but you can't get off of it. You know what I mean? Like, meaning once you sign up, it's there. So if you've ever Googled something, you notice how some things have like 2 O's, and then some things might have like 5 O's in the word Google. You guys notice that? Yeah. That's their social media presence. You want to have as many O's in the middle of G and the other G as possible. So all these free resources, hashtagging is very, very important. So, just make sure, like I said, get all that situated. And email me. I'll send you that.
I have somebody else that can help you too that did what you want to do. She's in the middle of it.
Yeah, because right now, I've done it, but I've done it in my home. And
Exactly.
I'm like,
She transitioned from that.
I've had good experiences, but I know that, you know, I might get somebody there that's probably not me.
Exactly. Yep.
Get there, right? And so what I feel sometimes is sometimes as Christian entrepreneurs, we want to wait until we get the big old storefront in a corporate office. You can start right in your house. You can start taking those people to the library and let you meet free 2 hours and have those women sit there. Then you start training them up in the way they should go. Then you start saying, well, listen, we're going to start charging $20 monthly dues. Then you start flushing that money to get that business license. So you can start where you are. And so they are at a whole nother level, which a level I'm trying to take my academy to. But I'm telling you, for me, this black girl, Dade County, no degrees, just decrees. I know that you can make some money, baby. You hear me? I'm telling you what I know. And so for those of you who may not be there yet, don't be discouraged. Don't be discouraged. We're going to take this last question and we got to go.
I'm about to say, hold on, I'm still selling out the trunk. Don't get it
Joy.
I have a question for you. I know you said that other companies have been mimicking your products. I just want to know, is it really that easy for people or other companies to mimic your product even though you had a patent and license? And as well as what decision you can think about it now or you would have made to prevent all of this from happening?
Okay, so you can't necessarily stop somebody from doing something that's not right, but you can make them aware. So that's why, since I'm already, have my legal documentation, that's what you do with the cease and desists. So you send them, you say, hey, this is my product, here's the patent, it's out here, you're not supposed to do this. Then it is on them to respond. They have a time period where they can respond. In the case of Sephora and Forever 21, their big legal teams came back with basically justifications as to why they were in violation and could be and weren't going to stop. So then you make a decision. Like Walgreens, I'm still waiting to hear back. That situation is ongoing. So that's why I'm like, the game is this. For a small company, they'll try to tie you up in court. They can go back and forth with you because they have deep pockets. That's what they do. They'll go back and forth with you in court because they have a team of attorneys just already on retainer, on standby. So they will try to outlast you as far as finances because they know that you can only fight for so much. Or, your patent is only for a certain number of years. So they can tie you up till your patent expires. And then it just doesn't even matter. So that's why I'm like, okay, I'm tired of being silent about it. So now I'm going vocal to let people know because shaming of these big companies has been very effective lately. And the more you can get negative, they have to respond. Publicly they'll have to respond in some type of way like, well, they can say we didn't know. They can claim ignorance. And if they want to continue to have a product, then it's like, okay, well, then do right by me. But until you do, I'm going to continue to let people know, do not buy it at Sephora, Forever 21, TJ Maxx, Walgreens, Marshalls, until you know that they have approval from the patent holder. So that's kind of where I am right now.
Let's give them a hand clap behind. We thank you all so much for the wealth of information that you have provided for us. We pray that God just take your business to another level globally, that people don't even know your name will look for you, amen? So we prophetically decree because you have given us this information that it has felt on good ground and your business will have to triple fold, okay? And so before you all go, can you please just give them your social media handles so they can pull out their cell phones now? And begin to follow you?
Facebook, Twitter, Insta, especially please follow on Insta, The Makeup Bullet. And then you can find my personal links from there. And I do have Makeup Bullets with me at a discount, $10 today, $5 off the regular price. If anybody wants to, I'll be here for a little bit.
And you can follow me at I am Calvin Willis, at It's Go Belt. And for all of the startups, I have partnered with a branding expert, Damascus Media, Justin Harden, and another web developer to help startup businesses like you, startup entrepreneurs, to actually get launched and get started, and that's at My Startup System. I have a giveaway. Who in here is a size 4 through 6 in women's? 4 to 6 women's? Right here. Come on up. Y'all put your hands together for us. She come get us 3 over. Thank you. Thank you. Yeah, that's pretty much it. All I ask you to do is just add us and tag us once you use it. We appreciate that. Thank you.
Calvin over here showing up, giving away stuff. I'm gonna give away something too, Calvin. I'm gonna give away something too. Let me think of something real good. So,
how about yours?
I got plenty of them. I'm thinking of a number between 1 to 100.
Okay.
Come give me a number. Little boy, come here. That's not what I asked you. Okay, so I'm Joi Pearson on Facebook. I'm Joi Pearson. We'll talk about that later. On all social media, the website is joystik.com, joistik.com. I'm You Bring Me Joy, the letter U Bring Me Joy. I'm Michael and Joy. I'm Power 1089. I am Joi Pearson Photo. Just meet me outside. We'll work all that out. But again, get all your social media stuff together because you know you have different brands and different brands need different things. So no, come here, Brenton. So I am going to give away a joystick because you guys came in here, you listened to all of this information, and I know that it's going to bless somebody's business. So I'm thinking of a number between 1 and 50. Boy, I can't hear you. Okay, all right. So a number between 1 and 50. If whoever is interested, shout out a number, and if okay, now you know good and well we can't hear you. Hold on. You said 32. 32. 37.
38.
25.
38.
21. 23.
I said 1 and 50. Y'all know that, right? I'm about to say so.
14.
32.
Who was in the 40s?
41.
Don't lie now. You know we in church. Don't lie now. You said 46. What did you say? 46. Who said 47? And who said 46? Tim, you said 47? You said 47? You changed it? Okay, you can't backpedal. You gotta stay all the way in that thing. You said 47. Who said 46? So you said 46 and you said 47. Meet me outside. I got both of y'all. The number was 48. Thank you.
Thank you. Love
You ain't got nothing to say.
God bless y'all in your business. You will prosper and be successful. God bless y'all.